guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This video is about 3 games that are good for conventions. Really, any game can be good for a convention if you run it right. You can even have a solitaire game and just teach someone how to play at solitaire, and they can have a lot of fun. Or a lot of the time they're mostly 2-player games, but the problem with that is only 2 people can play it. So at conventions, people like to socialize and they like big games. So these are all games that take a maximum of 4 players or a maximum of 6. One does 4 and the other 2 do 2 to 6. So it's suitable for large groups. First game that I think is suitable for a convention is Checkpoint Omega. It supports 2 to 6 players. Before the game starts, each player gets a certain amount of points, and they use these points to buy a racer, and they can also buy a jetpack if they wish, or a 3-wheeled motorcycle. And then they can also buy upgraded armor, or they can buy a weapon for the racer or buy weapons for their crew and so forth. So once the game begins, each team has to visit 16 checkpoints, and if they come across any enemy teams, they're allowed to shoot at them. And what's cool about the shooting is the shooting doesn't just do hull point damage, it also does damage to the drivetrain. So like, for example, if you have a racer that's moving at a movement point of 10 per turn, you do 2 damage to it. Now it's only moving at movement point of 8, so you're really slowing down that team. And since you can buy jetpacks and 3-wheeled motorcycles and so forth, then you have 3 independent units that can visit the checkpoints, so you can visit them faster. I think it's a great game for a convention because it's so easy to learn. The racing team is customizable and it's just fun. Next game here that's suitable for convention, you're going to be really surprised about this one, is Mall of America. I've had good and bad things to say about this game. The bad thing is it's not that good with 2 players, and what's really bad is the components are god-awful. You look at this big box and you think you can get some really cool looking game, but when you open it up, the components are complete crap and only take up a small portion of the box. So it's like they use the box to make you think you're going to get more than you wanted or something. I felt ripped off when I bought it, but however, it is fun if you play it with more than 2 players. With 2 players it's kind of lame, but plays up to 6. With 6 it's awesome. Killing a lot of zombies and stuff. You get equipment that can help you and so forth, and the object of the game is to get 4 unique pieces of equipment, and after you get those you can try and exit the mall, and the first to exit the mall wins. It's a lot of fun, and for large groups, when you're playing with large groups of people, not when you're playing with 2-player. But if you're to use it at a convention, the players will have no trouble learning it and they'll have a good time. Then the last one is Time of Crisis, the Roman Empire in Turmoil from 235 to 284 AD. This one supports 2 to 4 players. Obviously it's better with 4 players. It's a card-driven game, so regular board gamers will like it and war gamers will like it too. There's plenty of combat and stuff, and there's interesting things that go on in the game, like you can have barbarian invasions and you can have pretend emperors and stuff. You're essentially a Roman family and you're trying to win as much status for your family as possible. It's a lot of fun to play and it's easy to learn. It's more sophisticated than the other 2 games I just showed you, but it's still easy to learn. I think you'll have no trouble teaching it to the players at the convention, and more importantly, I think they're going to love the game and have a great time. Anyhow, those are 3 games that I think are suitable for war game conventions. Have a good evening.